Before we begin tonight's story, take a moment to get comfortable. Let your breathing slow. Let your shoulders relax, and allow the day to fade quietly behind you. In this video, we'll explore a gentle alternate history, a dreamy tale of what might have happened if medieval people had discovered a way to reach the stars. It's a soft, slow journey meant to calm your mind and guide you toward rest. If you enjoy sleepy storytelling, history, and peaceful imagination, make sure to stay until the end. The full story unfolds gradually, like a candle burning in the dark, and each chapter is designed to help you drift deeper into relaxation. Now, close your eyes if you wish, and let us step together into a world where the Middle Ages touched the edge of the cosmos. In the deep stillness of the medieval countryside, long before machines or science shaped the world, people believed the sky was a sacred veil separating the earthly from the divine. Villagers prayed beneath its shimmering expanse without ever imagining they might one day cross it. To them, the heavens belonged to angels, spirits, and mysteries far beyond mortal reach. Yet, on one quiet spring night, when the moon glowed pale as bone, and the wind carried a strange metallic chill, something happened that would forever shift the boundaries of their understanding. On a lonely hill overlooking a small village lived a shepherd named Rowan. He was known for spending countless nights awake, watching the stars while guarding his flock. Some called him a dreamer, others simply odd, but Rowan felt at home in the stillness of the night. The soft bleating of sheep and the faint glow of starlight comforted him more than any tavern hearth or crowded marketplace ever could. Yet this night felt different from the moment it began. The air held an unnatural stillness, as if the world itself were holding its breath. As Rowan leaned on his wooden staff, he noticed one star shining brighter than all the rest, a pale blue glimmer that pulsed gently, almost like a living heartbeat. At first, he blamed his tired eyes, but the light grew stronger, larger, descending slowly rather than streaking like a falling star. It moved with calm intention. A faint hum rose from the sky, subtle yet resonant enough to thrum through the grass beneath his feet. His sheep lifted their heads, clustering close together. Rowan felt fear prick at the edges of his mind, yet the glow was strangely peaceful. Old stories told by traveling monks spoke of ghost lights and wandering spirits, but nothing in those tales matched the quiet majesty of this descending radiance. The light settled beyond the meadow, hovering just above the earth like a floating lantern. Rowan stepped forward, drawn by a force he did not understand. With each cautious step, more of its shape emerged, smooth, metallic, and impossibly perfect, like silver polished by the sun despite the cold night. It was unlike anything human hands could craft. As he approached, the sphere unfurled like a blooming flower of light, revealing an opening that led into a softly glowing interior. A warm vibration pulsed from within, neither threatening nor cold. Rowan felt his fear loosen, replaced by a deep curiosity. It was as if the sky itself had finally opened. And not for kings or scholars, but for him. Behind him, the village slept unaware that their understanding of heaven and earth was about to change. And there, standing on the threshold of the unknown, Rowan realized that he might be the first mortal to step into a place no medieval mind had ever imagined. Rowan stood at the glowing entrance, his hand hovering above the warm air, drifting from within the strange sphere. It wasn't like any breeze he knew. It carried no scent of earth or smoke, only a clean, steady warmth that made his fear soften. His pulse raced, yet a quiet curiosity urged him forward, and with a single breath, he stepped inside. The outside world vanished instantly. A gentle hum filled the chamber, slow and rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat echoing through the curved walls. Everything glowed with a pale blue light that rose and faded in smooth waves. Rowan touched the surface beside him. It felt warm and impossibly smooth, almost alive, responding with a soft ripple of light that traveled along the wall. There were no torches, no shadows, yet the room was perfectly lit. The floor flexed slightly beneath him, adjusting to his steps as though welcoming his presence. Rowan whispered a trembling prayer. The walls shimmered again, as if they understood his fear. At the center of the chamber, a round pedestal rose from the floor, forming itself from the glowing surface. Resting atop it was a small crystal orb, pulsing gently with the same blue heartbeat he had seen in the sky. When Rowan stepped closer, the orb warmed to a soft, golden glow. Then a voice appeared, not through his ears, but inside his thoughts, calm, steady, and impossible to place. "Do not fear, traveler." Rowan froze, his breath caught. The voice had no source, no shape. It felt like a whisper woven directly into his mind. "You stand at the edge of understanding," it continued. "You were not chosen by rank or birth, but by wonder." Rowan swallowed hard. "Who speaks to me?" he asked softly. The chamber pulsed in response. A guide, a watcher, one who listens from beyond the veil your world calls the heavens. Rowan's knees weakened. His whole life he had heard sermons about angels and signs from above, yet nothing in this presence felt divine or fearful. It felt patient, curious, almost familiar. "Why me?" he whispered. "Because you looked upward and asked questions your world is not yet ready to ask." The voice replied, "Curiosity opens doors no kingdom can lock." The orb brightened. The hum beneath the floor deepened just slightly, as though the vessel were awakening around him. For a moment, Rowan sensed movement, subtle, slow, like a giant stretching after a long rest. Outside, the quiet medieval valley slept, unaware of anything unusual. But inside this sphere of gentle light, Rowan felt the first stirrings of something far greater. The sky had opened for him, and it would not close again. For a moment, Rowan stood in silence, letting the warm glow of the chamber soothe the tremble in his hands. The strange voice had faded, leaving only the soft hum of the vessel and the gentle pulses of light drifting along the curved walls. He felt caught between two worlds, one of soil and sheep, and another of impossible wonder. A part of him wanted to run back to the valley, to pretend none of this had happened. But a deeper, quieter part knew the path behind him had already vanished. At last, the voice returned, soft as a whisper. The journey begins when fear loosens. Rowan swallowed. A journey to where? The orb brightened instead of answering. The walls shifted, opening into a window that hadn't been there before. Through it, Rowan saw the night sky. Closer, sharper, far brighter than from the hillside. The moon looked enormous, almost delicate in the darkness. Rowan gasped. Am I above the ground? A warm vibration answered him. You stand at the threshold of the cosmos, the voice said. Not far from home, not yet. The view below made Rowan's breath catch. The small village, the quiet river, the narrow fields, all looked peaceful and distant, as if part of another life. No sermon, no monk's tale of the heavens had prepared him for this. Why show me this? He asked. Because someone must see beyond the horizon before others can follow. Drawn by awe, Rowan pressed his hand to the smooth surface near the window. It warmed beneath his touch, responding like a living thing. The vessel felt aware, almost attentive. A low vibration spread through the floor. The lights brightened, shifting from soft blue to a gentle golden dawn. The hum deepened into a steady tone that filled the chamber with calm. Hold steady, the voice said. What is happening? Rowan whispered. The first ascent. A smooth, rising force lifted him. Not sharply, but like the earth releasing its hold. Through the window, the valley shrank. The river thinned into a silver thread. The moon grew brighter. No longer a distant ornament, but a companion drawing nearer. Rowan gripped the glowing wall, breath unsteady. He was rising, truly rising. As the vessel stabilized, he stood on shaking legs, staring down at the land, fading beneath thin clouds and moonlit mist. I'm leaving the world, he whispered. You are leaving what you thought it was, the voice replied. Rowan's eyes filled with tears. The sky was no longer something above him. He was inside it. The vessel drifted higher, and the village became a patchwork of shadow and silver. Rowan's heart thumped with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. Each pulse of the orb seemed to sync with his own, as though the craft, or whatever it truly was, had adopted him into its rhythm. Stars, once distant pinpricks of light, now stretched into rivers of brilliance, flowing around him like liquid diamonds. The voice returned, gentler this time. Do not cling to what you know. The sky is not a place of fear, but a canvas of possibility. Soon you will see what lies between the stars, and the worlds you've imagined will seem small in comparison. Rowan swallowed hard. Between the stars? You mean there are others? The orb pulsed, shifting from gold to a soft violet glow. Many, yet they are not for the eyes of the timid. Only those who reach beyond the veil may glimpse them. The vessel began to rotate slowly, revealing a horizon Rowan could never have imagined. Nebulas swirled like painted clouds, vast and alive, glowing in shades of emerald, indigo, and rose. Streams of starlight curved gracefully, almost like rivers flowing across the void. Rowan staggered back, gripping the wall as the immensity of it all pressed against his mind. "Can I touch it?" he asked, his voice trembling. "You will learn," the voice replied. "Touch is not always of hand. Some things are felt in ways your body has yet to understand." A ribbon of light extended from the orb, stretching outward toward the nebulae. Rowan hesitated, then let his fingers hover above it. A shiver ran through him, not from cold, but from the sensation of connection, an invisible bridge linking his awareness to the vast currents of cosmic energy. The stars weren't distant anymore. They whispered secrets, tiny threads of thought brushing against the edges of his mind. Time no longer had meaning. Moments stretched and bent, each pulse of the orb feeling like an eternity. Rowan's fear melted entirely, replaced by a fragile, radiant wonder. He realized he was seeing the universe not as a shepherd, not as a man, but as a witness to its hidden symphony. "Do I belong here?" he asked. "You belong wherever you seek to see," the voice answered. "The first ascent is only the beginning. There are those who will follow, but not yet. You must return, and yet you are changed. Once you have touched the cosmos, your world will never seem the same." A subtle vibration swept through the vessel. Rowan felt it tilt, not downwards, but forward, toward a distant point of light that shone like a second moon. He blinked, uncomprehending. It was moving, alive, pulsing with a rhythm both alien and familiar. "Is that another vessel?" Rowan whispered. "Perhaps," said the voice, "or perhaps it is what waits for those ready to journey farther. You will see in time." The orb's glow brightened once more, enveloping Rowan in golden warmth. The sensation was like being wrapped in sunlight, safe and infinite. He closed his eyes, letting the vibration of the chamber seep into his bones. When he opened them, the vessel had changed. The walls now shimmered with constellations unfamiliar, the stars forming patterns that no medieval mind, or even a modern one, could name. "You are no longer just a shepherd," the voice said. "You are the first of the watchers, and the sky is only the beginning." A new pulse surged through the vessel, stronger than before. Rowan felt a gentle pressure at the back of his mind, an urging forward, upward, into the unknown. With a deep breath, he stepped toward it, the golden light of the orb illuminating his path. The horizon of stars spread endlessly before him, and Rowan understood. The universe had always been waiting. Rowan paused as he stepped forward, his hand gliding through the gentle streams of light that flowed like liquid, silk around him. Each ribbon of brilliance seemed alive, humming softly in a language he could almost feel, though not with his ears. The stars were no longer distant points. They were threads of existence, weaving a tapestry too vast and patient for any human mind to fully grasp. "Are they alive?" he whispered, his voice trembling with awe. "Not as you understand life," the voice replied, calm and infinite. "They are awareness, movement, and memory, all at once. And now you are part of their rhythm." Rowan let his fingers hover above one of the glowing ribbons. A subtle shiver ran through him, not from cold, but from the sensation of connection, a silent pulse threading through his very thoughts. He felt the energy of distant nebulae, of stars forming and dying, flowing like gentle rivers into his mind. Each pulse was a story, each shimmer a thought older than the mountains below. Time itself seemed to stretch and bend. Minutes could be hours, and hours could collapse into a single, infinite heartbeat. Rowan's fear melted entirely, replaced by a fragile wonder that made his chest feel weightless. He realized he was no longer simply a shepherd, no longer merely human in the way he had understood himself. He was a witness to a hidden symphony of the cosmos. "Do I belong here?" he asked softly, almost afraid to hear the answer. "You belong wherever curiosity leads you," the voice said. "The first ascent is only the beginning. There are many paths, many others who will follow, but not yet. You must see, and you must remember. When you return, your world will be unchanged to others, yet you will never see it the same way again." A gentle pulse shifted beneath his feet. The vessel tilted forward, guiding him toward a distant glow that shimmered like a second moon. It moved slowly, almost hesitantly, yet with a rhythm that felt deliberate. Rowan's breath caught. "Another world?" he whispered. "Perhaps," the voice said. "Or perhaps a place that waits for those ready to journey further. You will understand in time." The golden light of the orb intensified, wrapping Rowan in warmth that was neither heavy nor blinding, but perfectly safe. His eyes closed for a moment, letting the vibrations of the chamber flow through him. When he opened them again, the walls had shifted into constellations no human mind could name. Stars formed patterns that seemed to respond to his thoughts, moving gently as though acknowledging his presence. "You are no longer merely a shepherd," the voice whispered. "You are the first of the watchers, and the sky is only the beginning." "You are no longer merely a shepherd," the voice whispered. "You are the first of the watchers, and the sky is only the beginning." Rowan's heart pounded softly, in sync with the gentle pulse of the orb. A subtle, insistent urging pressed at the back of his mind, forward, upward, into the unknown. He took a slow, careful step, and another, letting the golden light illuminate his path. Ahead, the horizon of stars stretched endlessly, radiant and still, waiting, and Rowan understood in that quiet, trembling moment. The universe had always been waiting. Rowan's steps carried him gently forward, and with each movement, The golden glow of the orb seemed to stretch around him, forming delicate bridges of light that curved through the vastness of space. He leaned slightly over the edge of the invisible floor and gazed at the nebulae swirling beneath him, vast, clouds of emerald and indigo, tinged with soft rose and silver, moving like liquid silk across the darkness. He could feel the hum of their energy, a subtle vibration that tickled the edges of his mind, almost like a whisper carried on a cosmic breeze. "Are these alive too?" he murmured, voice barely more than a sigh. "Not in the way your world names life," the voice replied, gentle and patient. "They are patterns of energy, consciousness flowing through eternity, and now your awareness touches them." Rowan stretched out a hand, hesitating, and then let his fingers hover just above a ribbon of starlight. A soft pulse ran along his skin, not cold, not burning, but like a heartbeat echoing directly into his thoughts. The sensation spread slowly, like water flowing through every part of him. And for the first time, he understood what the voice had meant. To touch the universe was to feel it, to listen to it, not with eyes or hands, but with the quiet knowing of the mind. A ribbon of light arced gently toward him, curving around the vessel, as if inviting him to step upon it. Rowan's breath caught. With the tiniest of motions, he placed a foot onto the glowing path. It felt solid yet soft, like walking on clouds of pure light. The ribbon responded, bending slightly beneath his weight, carrying him forward with the slow, deliberate grace of a river flowing through time. The stars on either side shimmered in patterns he could not name, forming shifting constellations that seemed to acknowledge him, bending toward him with subtle motions of welcome. Rowan closed his eyes for a moment, letting the hum of the cosmos fill him, syncing his heartbeat with the rhythm of light. He realized that fear had entirely faded, replaced by a fragile, profound wonder. Every pulse of the orb, every glow along the light paths was a gentle promise. There was more to see, more to feel, and each step was a soft whisper of discovery. "Am I dreaming?" Rowan whispered into the silent vastness. "No," the voice replied. "You are awake in the places your world does not yet understand. You walk the threshold between what is known and what has always existed beyond sight." As he moved further along the light ribbons, new forms emerged, pulsing spheres of energy, vast floating gardens of glowing particles, drifting slowly in the dark expanse. Each seemed to react to his presence, expanding or contracting in a gentle dance, as if acknowledging the curiosity and wonder in his mind. Rowan's steps became more confident, yet careful, his every motion slow and deliberate, letting the tranquility of the universe wash over him like a soft lullaby. "Why me?" he asked quietly, almost to himself. "Because you saw beyond fear," the voice whispered. "Because your heart sought more than certainty. Others will follow, but for now, you are the first to witness these truths. Remember, the sky is not a limit, it is an invitation. And so Rowan walked, step by step, through the quiet, endless cosmos, feeling its pulse entwine with his own, each moment stretching longer, softer, slower, until time itself seemed to bend around him, and the stars became not just points of light, but companions on this gentle, infinite journey. Rowan continued along the shimmering ribbon of light, each step slow and deliberate, as if time itself had surrendered to his pace. The stars around him stretched into long, glowing streams, winding lazily through the darkness, each one humming softly, a quiet pulse that reached deep into his chest. He could feel the warmth of the orb beside him, steady and golden, a tether to the vessel that carried him through this endless expanse. It was not heavy, it was gentle, like sunlight brushing over a meadow at dawn. Below, the swirling nebulae shifted in waves of color: emerald, indigo, and soft rose, stretching farther than his eyes could follow. Rowan's mind tried to name them, to understand them as he might a tree or a river back in the valley. But he realized that names were unnecessary here. He felt them instead, a rhythm that whispered of creation and patience, of beginnings and endings merging into one slow, serene song. A soft vibration drew his gaze forward. A distant moon, glowing faintly violet, hovered among a cluster of stars. It pulsed gently, almost like it recognized him, or perhaps the curiosity that had led him here. Rowan reached out instinctively, and the moment his fingers neared the light, a subtle warmth traveled up his arm. The sensation was neither touch nor thought, but something in between. A quiet acknowledgement, a bridge of awareness connecting him to the cosmos. He stepped carefully onto a new ribbon of starlight that arced toward the moon. It responded to his weight, flexing slightly, guiding him forward. Each motion felt like a slow dance with the universe, deliberate and calm. He let his gaze wander, tracing the distant constellations forming and dissolving around him. Patterns he could not name yet somehow understood in the language of light. "Is this a path?" he asked softly, almost afraid to disturb the quiet. "In a sense," the voice replied, "but it is more than a path. It is an invitation to see, to feel, to exist beyond the limitations of your world. The stars remember those who are patient, and they teach without speaking." Rowan exhaled, letting the words settle into his mind. He realized that the fear that had fluttered through him back on the hill was gone, replaced by a calm wonder that filled every inch of his being. The vessel beneath him seemed to hum in approval, carrying him gently along the ribbon, toward the distant violet moon. Around him, the silent symphony of stars continued, stretching on endlessly, soft and steady, a lullaby for the curious and the brave. And Rowan, stepping lightly, felt the first true understanding of the journey, that the universe was patient, eternal, and waiting for those who dared to walk its quiet, luminous corridors. Rowan's steps carried him closer to the violet moon. each movement slow, measured, as though he were floating on a river of time itself. The light beneath his feet pulsed gently with every heartbeat, a rhythm shared between him and the cosmos. He raised a hand, letting his fingers hover above a stream of pale silver starlight, feeling it tremble subtly at his touch. It was not solid, yet it responded as if alive, bending and swaying in a gentle dance. A calm warmth spread through him, soothing and steady, a comfort unlike any he had known in the hills of his village. The distant nebulae shifted around him, curling in slow spirals that glowed with soft hues of green and rose. Tiny sparkles drifted lazily, like dust motes in a sunbeam, yet each shimmer felt full of meaning, full of presence. Rowan realized he was no longer merely seeing the stars. He was listening to them, feeling the history of their light as it traveled across the endless dark. Each pulse, each shimmer, carried a story older than mountains, older than the river valleys of his home. "Am I dreaming still?" he murmured, voice barely above a whisper. "No," the voice replied, gentle and infinite. "You are awake in a place your world does not yet know. Here, the mind perceives in ways the body cannot, and you, Rowan, are learning their language." The violet moon grew larger as he approached. Its surface shimmered, a soft, breathing glow, not harsh or bright, but steady and patient. A thin bridge of light stretched from the ribbon beneath his feet to the moon itself, curving gracefully through the darkness. Rowan stepped onto it with care, feeling it flex and hum beneath him. The sensation was like walking on calm water, guided by invisible currents that knew exactly where to lead him. Around him, the stars continued their quiet dance, forming fleeting constellations that shifted gently as if acknowledging his presence. Rowan's chest felt light, almost weightless, each inhale and exhale syncing with the gentle pulse of the moon and the orb. He felt connected, as though the universe itself had drawn him close and whispered, "You are seen, you are known." He paused at the midpoint of the bridge, looking down into the deep darkness below. It was not frightening. Rather, it was serene, filled with the quiet hum of countless stars and ribbons of light, stretching into infinity. Rowan closed his eyes for a moment, letting the warmth of the moon and the rhythm of the vessel settle deep into his mind. Every fear, every doubt, seemed to dissolve into the gentle vibrations, leaving only wonder and calm. "The journey continues," the voice whispered softly. "But do not rush. The universe is patient, and it teaches in silence. You have stepped beyond the horizon, and yet this is only the beginning. Breathe and allow the cosmos to guide you." Rowan took a slow step onto the violet moon, and the surface beneath him responded with a gentle, pulsing warmth. It felt almost like a soft cushion of light, yielding slightly under his weight, yet firm enough to support him completely. The hum of the orb and the vessel merged with the subtle vibrations of the moon itself, forming a delicate rhythm that Rowan instinctively matched with his own heartbeat. He exhaled slowly, feeling an unusual serenity settle deep into his chest. Around him, the cosmos stretched endlessly. Streams of starlight curved in elegant arcs, threading between distant nebulae and faraway suns. Colors he had never imagined shimmered in slow waves. Soft indigo, muted emerald, and whispers of rose that drifted like mist. Each pulse of light seemed to carry a faint song, not in sound but in feeling, brushing against the edges of his mind with gentle insistence. Rowan realized that the universe was not silent. It was speaking, and he was learning to listen in a way that had nothing to do with ears. He wandered slowly, letting each step guide him. The violet glow beneath his feet rippled as he moved, echoing softly against the vast emptiness. In the distance, another floating body of light emerged, shaped vaguely like a sphere but softer, more fluid, as if it were composed entirely of breath and motion. Rowan felt a quiet pull toward it, curiosity rising in gentle waves, mingling with the warmth already settling into his bones. "Are these alive?" he whispered, voice trembling slightly, though he felt no fear. "Not as your people understand life," the voice replied, calm and patient. "They are patterns of energy, of memory, of movement. They exist in ways that do not require names. Yet you may touch them in ways your world has never imagined." Rowan hesitated, then extended a hand. A delicate ribbon of violet light reached out to meet his fingertips. The moment they touched, a shiver ran through him, not harsh or cold, but soft and deep, like a gentle wave washing over his awareness. The light seemed to sing in silence, threads of thought brushing against his mind, weaving understanding without words. He felt connection between him, the moon, and the wider cosmos, subtle and infinite. Time here had no urgency. Minutes stretched into quiet eternities, the pulse of light and energy slow, rhythmic, comforting. Rowan let himself walk, letting the moon guide him along invisible paths of glowing starlight. Above, below, around him, the universe flowed in endless, gentle motion, and he felt suspended in a calm lullaby of color, light, and quiet wonder. "You are learning," the voice whispered. "Learning not with knowledge, but with presence. Do not hurry. The stars will wait for you. Each step is part of their song. Each touch a lesson in patience and awe. Let yourself move, and let the universe unfold before you." Rowan continued his gentle steps across the violet moon, each movement a soft sway in the quiet current of light. Beneath his feet, the surface pulsed like a slow heartbeat, warm and reassuring, guiding him without words. The ribbons of starlight surrounding him shifted and curved, forming delicate bridges toward distant glowing spheres, each one alive with a subtle rhythm that resonated through his chest. He felt as though the universe itself was breathing around him, soft and patient, waiting for him to notice its quiet song. In the distance, a small cluster of luminous spheres floated together, circling one another in a gentle dance. Their colors shifted slowly: amber, sapphire, and a faint silver that glimmered like morning dew. Rowan felt a pull of curiosity, delicate and irresistible, and he moved toward them carefully. The closer he came, the more he sensed their presence, not with eyes, but with an inner awareness, as though each sphere carried a memory or thought from ages long past. He reached out, fingers hovering just above a golden sphere, and a tender warmth spread through his hand, flowing up his arm, settling into his chest. It was a sensation both strange and familiar, like recognition without words. "Are they conscious?" Rowan whispered softly. "They are awareness in forms your world cannot yet name," the voice replied, gentle and infinite. "They perceive, they remember, and they respond. In their own quiet way, they are alive, though not as humans understand it. Your presence here has awakened their curiosity, just as their light awakens yours." Rowan let his hand linger near the sphere, feeling the faint vibration of its pulse mingle with the rhythm of the orb he carried. A subtle connection threaded through his mind, soft and flowing, carrying with it glimpses of faraway places, planets with silent winds, nebulae that shimmered like oceans of color, and stars that glowed with secrets too old for words. His chest rose and fell slowly, each breath syncing with the gentle hum of the cosmic symphony surrounding him. He took another step forward, guided by the tender bridges of light, toward a larger sphere that shimmered with pale turquoise. Its surface rippled gently, as if breathing, and Rowan felt an almost magnetic pull drawing him closer. The ribbons beneath his feet curved, bending softly in response to his weight, carrying him along without effort. Every motion felt intentional, deliberate, as if the universe itself were guiding him through a calm, infinite ballet. "You are moving as one with the cosmos," the voice whispered. "Do not fear stillness, do not rush discovery. Each step, each touch, each moment of awareness is a thread in the quiet tapestry of the universe. Let your mind listen, let your heart follow, and let the stars unfold before you, slowly, endlessly, peacefully." Rowan drifted slowly away from the violet moon, following the gentle arcs of starlight that stretched outward like luminous bridges. The vastness of the cosmos unfolded around him, endless and serene, each star a soft point of light pulsing with quiet energy. Nebulae swirled in slow spirals, their colors brushing against the edges of his mind. Emerald, rose, and indigo blending seamlessly, a silent symphony of light. The orb pulsed beside him, golden warmth radiating into his chest, steady and comforting. In the distance, distant planets shimmered faintly, each one a soft sphere of glowing light. Rowan's curiosity pulled him toward them, and as he approached, He felt the subtle vibrations of their presence, not solid like the earth, not fixed like the hills of his village, but alive in rhythm and motion, breathing gently in the quiet void. He extended his hand toward a pale blue planet, and the moment his fingers neared its surface, warmth flowed through him. The sensation was calm, profound, like a greeting, an understanding without words. "Are they alive too?" Rowan whispered softly, the awe in his voice delicate, almost a sigh. "They are," the voice replied, tender and patient, "but life here is different. It is not bound by flesh or soil. It is the pulse of the universe, and you have come to witness it. Each star, each planet, each ribbon of light carries a song. And now, your awareness hums along with it." Rowan stepped lightly onto another ribbon of starlight, moving from planet to planet, letting the universe guide him. Time no longer had meaning. The vast stretches of space were like a calm, flowing river. He felt both infinitely small and endlessly connected. With every step, every touch of light, he understood more, not with his mind, but with a quiet knowing. "Do I belong here?" he asked, voice soft, almost to himself. "You belong wherever curiosity leads," the voice whispered, "and your journey has only deepened. The stars have always waited for those willing to see them, and now you have seen." Rowan closed his eyes, letting the gentle hum of the cosmos envelop him, a soft lullaby that carried no fear, only endless wonder and calm. Rowan floated quietly, the ribbons of light beneath, his feet guiding him gently toward a distant constellation he could not name. The golden orb pulsed beside him, steady and warm, a companion through the vast, silent expanse. Around him, stars flowed in slow, radiant rivers, nebulae shifted with infinite grace, and planets glimmered with soft, steady breaths. He felt a profound serenity, as if the universe itself had cradled him in its endless arms. "You have seen what few can imagine," the voice said, calm and soothing. "You have walked the first ascent. Now it is time to carry the quiet understanding back to your world." Rowan's chest rose and fell slowly. He realized he had changed. The hills and rivers of his village, the sheep he had once tended, the quiet streets beneath the moonlight, all of it would feel different now. Nothing could ever be as it was before he had touched the cosmos. And yet, he did not feel loss. Instead, he felt the gentle promise of connection. That wonder, once seen, can travel anywhere. The orb's golden glow expanded, surrounding him in a cocoon of light. The distant stars reflected softly on its surface, ribbons of energy winding around him in a delicate dance. Rowan took a deep, slow breath, letting himself sink into the warmth, trusting the quiet rhythm of the vessel. "You are the first of the watchers," the voice whispered, "and though you return, a part of you will always remain among the stars. Let your heart remember, and let your mind remain open. The universe is patient, and it waits for those willing to wonder. As the vessel began its gentle descent, the village appeared below, small and serene, bathed in the silver glow of the moon. Rowan's feet touched the familiar grass of the hill once more, yet he felt weightless in a way he had never known. The stars above shimmered softly, as if acknowledging his journey, and the violet moon lingered faintly on the horizon, a quiet promise of endless possibilities. Rowan lay down in the grass, gazing upward, feeling the universe hum in his chest. His eyes grew heavy, the hum of cosmic energy weaving into the gentle night wind. And as he drifted into sleep, he knew the sky had always been waiting, and he had finally learned to listen.